Alrighty, boys and girls, welcome to our third video lesson in Unit 1. Unit 1 on inequalities. Section 3, we're doing a video on absolute value inequalities. Okay, solving absolute value inequalities. These are the steps that I do. And again, they're a little bit different from some of the other people, but that's fine. We're going to go through them right here. Our first step is to solve for the absolute value. Once you've done that, pretend it was an equation. So just ignore the fact that it's an inequality, pretend it says equals, and solve for x. Once you get x, we're going to get 2 points. Those are going to be what we call our critical points. And then your answer is going to be one of two things. It's either going to be a segment in between the two critical points. It's like an and. It's like an and compound inequality. It's like an and. Okay? Or we're going to get an answer in red here, where we're going to have two rays going away from each other with a missing section in between. It's like an or inequality. It's like an or inequality. And if you want to memorize, which I got to think about here, this for example, if the absolute value, whatever it is less than some number or some expression, it's going to be the blue one. It's going to be the segment. And if the absolute value, I'll do this one in red actually, whatever is in there, is greater than some number, then it's going to be the rays. But again, I just like to just throw in a critical point. So looking right here, the absolute value of x is less than 5. First thing we're going to do is we're going to solve this. We're going to pretend that this was an equation. So absolute value of x is equal to 5. So we now know our critical points is 5 or neg 5. 5 and neg 5, I should say. So I'm going to put in a point right here at 5, a point right here at neg 5. And because I'm dealing with less than, I'm going to have open dots as opposed to closed dots if it were less than and equal to. So I have open dots, and now we just got to decide. Am I in between? So in other words, am I going to be a segment in between like this, or am I going to be two rays going apart from each other like this? It's going to be one or the other. All we're going to do is we're going to throw in any point that's not a critical point. Let's, for example, let's choose the point x equals 1. That's a nice one. The easiest one is actually x equals 0. But let's just right now, let's try x equals 1. If I throw in x equals 1 right here, the absolute value of 1 is 1. Is 1 less than 5? Yes, it is. So I already know my answer is going to be in between. But I could have chosen any point. Like, for example, I could have chosen x equals neg 3. If I throw in x equals neg 3 into here, I get the absolute value of negative 3 is 3. 3 is less than 5, so 3 also worked, in between. If I had thrown in a point outside of my 2 points, outside of my critical values, like for example 6, if I had thrown in 6, the absolute value of 6 is 6. 6 is not less than 5, so therefore 6 didn't work, so that's not part of my solution. So my graph looks like this. We can write our answer as negative 5 is less than x is less than 5. There's my compound inequality. I can also write x is greater than neg 5 and x is less than 5, but of course I like this way better. Just easier to write. And in interval notation, I'm going to write negative 5, comma 5, and these are both going to be parentheses because we do not include those points at neg 5 and 5.